please click the subscribe button to empower us to continue making more video. Thank you very much.
Hello, and just want to say congratulations on getting access to this video course on how to take your online course and setting it up on WordPress so that you can begin to accept sales. All right, so let's jump right in to the introduction here. Now, I want to make things clear here, and the condition of this course is that we assume that you already have an online course and the videos on hand. So this video course is not about how to create an online course. It's just merely taking that course and setting it up on your WordPress site. So now that we've gotten that clarification out of the way, what I want to do now is give you a quick overview of what's inside this video course. This is video number 1. Video number 2, we're going to talk about the big problem. So before we dive in and talk about how to, set things up and all the technical aspects of everything, we want to tackle a major problem and a major reason why most people do not consume your course. We'll dive into it a lot deeper, but statistically they say that only about 10% of your online course is consumed, meaning most of your students will come in, they'll buy your course, and they'll only consume about 10%. And then they'll quit. So we need to combat that, right? We need to set the experience up so that we can increase that number. So that is what that video is all about. And as you can imagine, that is crucial to tackle before we talk about the technical aspect of setting things up, because actually setting things up is actually very easy. Video number 3, we're going to talk about the experience. So once we understand the problem, we need to understand how to make a better experience for your students so that they consume the online course from start to finish. And then we'll talk about the technical aspect in video number 4, such as the WordPress LMS plugin. And LMS stands for Learning Management System. And it's basically a system that allows you to set up your online course. So it's the environment that surrounds the course. So once I've given you a broad overview of different plugins that are out there and available to you, video number 5 will talk about recommended WordPress LMS plugin that we highly recommend. And of course, video number 6, we're going to talk about consumption boost. So based upon the big problem, how do we not only combat it, but boost the consumption rate? How do we get people to engage with this, to continue to the end? And of course, video number 7, we'll talk about engagement. How do we get people to engage with your online course? And last but not least, we got video number 8, which is prestige and fun. And all that means is trying to make people feel good about themselves as they complete your course. And we'll talk more about that and why that's important and all of that. So let's talk about getting started. What do you need? So you obviously need to have your course. You need to have the videos in hand. So the video files, the MP4 files, whatever video files that you have, you need to have them in hand. Now, if you don't have this already, that's fine. You can do this later. We're not really going to discuss this, but you will need to take those videos and you will need to upload them to a video hosting company. So for example, we've got Vimeo.com. We recommend that highly. And Wistia.com is another video hosting. And once you set all these up, you can take the embed codes and then, of course, enter it into LearnDash or whatever WordPress LMS plugin that you desire to use. And of course, you'll need to have some money to purchase a WordPress LMS plugin. There are some free ones out there, but what we found over the years is that free is not always the best. So you want to make sure that you put yourself on a good platform that is constantly updated and grows as you grow. So with that said, let's move on to video number 2.
Please click the subscribe button to empower us to continue making more video. Thank you very much.
Hello and welcome back. This is video number 2, the big problem. So we briefly touched base on this, but I'm going to dive a lot deeper in this particular video. You see, the biggest problem is not getting your site set up to sell, but rather getting your students to consume your course. Here's a big quick fact. Did you know that most students consume less than 10% of a course? So what happens is they buy a course, they're excited about it, but they just don't finish it. So you might have people finishing your course, but let's say out of 100 or even out of 1,000 people, that number actually becomes very, very small. And there's a big reason for that, which we'll touch base in just a second. So the goal here, as you can imagine, is not only to set up your online course onto your WordPress site and set it up so that you can start selling it, but also to get your students excited to go through your course. And here's why. It's a known fact that if you can get your students to consume your course, they're going to want to buy more from you. They're going to feel like, wow, I really enjoyed that course. I want more. So if you put yourself in their shoes and maybe you've bought a course and you just never have finished it, or maybe you have gone through a course and you feel like, wow, I got so much value out of this. I want to see if this person has a different course. So in other words, you feel impacted by that person. So with the law of reciprocation, you want to seek them out more. So the big question is, how do you go about doing this? Well, to set the stage, we're going to be covering this in a lot more depth in this course. But what you want to do is you will want to prep your course outline and lay it all out so that it is easy to consume. Now, obviously, you already have an online course in hand. What we're doing here is we are basically going to break things down so that you can see, okay, the first thing, this is what they see this video afterwards, or maybe in between these videos, we could add something else that's highly engaging and things like that. So it's not necessarily that you are having to re-edit your course. It's basically making it more engaging, all right? And it'll make more sense in just a second. So in other words, you want to make sure that your experience is as easy as possible. You want to add engagement through quizzes, through forums, or a comment section. You also want to gamify, or in other words, make the course fun. So you can go all out. You can even use a system like gamipress.com and integrate it into certain WordPress plugins. And you can do things like, okay, somebody gets points when they log in, they get points when they do certain things within the course, and maybe they can rack up those points and use that points to buy other things. So as you can imagine, even as adults, if you gamify things, it increases the chance of somebody actually consuming your course. All right, so now that you have a general overview of the big problem, kind of what we need to do, what we're going to do now is we're going to talk about the experience. So how can we increase that consumption rate through the experience?
Please click the subscribe button to empower us to continue making more video. Thank you very much.